Hello, my name is Daniel, and I go by Game Man of Color 313 on Twitch. Most people call me Game for short. Today, I wanted to give a couple of quick combo tutorials for Ogdoadic aliens. I've been a fan of the alien strategy since they were the first archetype I could build a full deck out of, and with Ogdoadic's release in Ancient Guardians and the new alien support in Dawn of Majesty, I've just been even more in love with them. This deck is built out of a lot of low rarity cards, including the extra deck monsters that I'll be showing in today's combos. The Ogdoadic core was extremely cheap for me. I got all of the essentials that I needed for about $1 each. And the new Dawn of Majesty support drops in at common rarity, so they're for pennies on the dollar, if that. The budget-friendly nature of the deck, and the fact that it gets even more powerful once Reptilian support comes out in November with Burst of Destiny and Synchrostorm, has gotten some of my online friends interested in it, so I figured there would be more people wanting to know how to pick up this deck for a local at least. So that's why I wanted to make this video. Most of your combos are going to center around turboing out the new Link 3 from Dawn of Majesty, Cosmic Slicer Zer'oll. He's got 2600 attack, you need 2 or more reptiles to bring him out, and his first effect reads, monsters your opponent controls with A counters are changed to defense position, also neither player can activate their effects. So basically, if you can search out any reliable A counter generator, you can lock out your opponent's entire field. Luckily, Zer'oll has another effect which reads, if this card is link summoned, you can add 1 card from your deck to your hand that has an effect that places A counters. There are a couple different options you have for A counter generators, but the best A counter generator is in Planet Pollutant Virus. It's an old trap card which reads, tribute 1 alien monster, destroy all face-up monsters without A counters your opponent controls. Until the end of your opponent's 3rd turn after this card's activation, place 1 A counter on each monster they summon. In essence, this is a Raigeki and a Swords of Revealing Light long lockdown with Zer'oll on the field. The other A counter generator that's really nice to have is Aleirtt Kid, and its effect reads, place 1 A counter on all monsters special summoned to your opponent's side of the field. Most of your combos are going to center around sticking Zer'oll on the field alongside either an alien monster with the set virus trap card or just Zer'oll and Aleirtt Kid. And this is because, Aleirtt Kid brings an A counter on every monster your opponent special summons, so as soon as they hit the field, they're instantly locked out. So we've got a couple 2-card combos to get to this end board or this end board with the trap card set face down. So I'm going to be showing those right now. The first is going to basically illustrate a lot of what we're going to want to do today. So we will want Nunu, the Ogdoadic Remnant, and I'm going to use Code Ancient Ruins, but effectively this means any discard. So, Nunu, the Ogdoadic Remnant, has an effect which reads, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, send 1 Dark Reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. You'll want to use that effect, sending it from hand, in order to summon, or in order to send rather, Zohah, the Ogdoadic Boundless. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard or special summoned from the graveyard, you can activate this effect. Your opponent draws 1 card, and if they do, you add 1 Ogdoadic monster from your deck to your hand, except Zohah. Then each player sends 1 card from their hand to the graveyard. That first effect of Zohah is going to be mostly irrelevant for a lot of your combos, specifically because it generates advantage for your opponent. The second effect of Zohah is what's actually going to be central to this combo and should be central to most other of your play routes. if this card is in your graveyard, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, add this card to your hand. So this is what the discard is for. You'll want to discard your card, add Zohah back to hand. Now, normal summon Zohah, and because you control an Ogdoadic, you can use this effect of Nunu in grave. You can special summon this card from your graveyard if you control no monsters or you control an Ogdoadic monster, but you'll banish this when this leaves the field, and you can't special summon monsters except reptiles while this card is face up in the monster zone. So now you've normal summoned Zohah, you control an Ogdoadic, special summon Nunu. You'll want to overlay them both into King of the Feral Imps. So now you'll use Imps' effect to detach one, and because of the interaction, as an Xyz material, Nunu hits the graveyard instead of being banished. So, King of the Feral Imps, you'll detach and search one reptile monster from your deck. The reptile you're going to search is Nauya, the Ogdoadic Remnant. And in much the same way as Nunu, you'll send it from hand in order to send a reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. The difference here is that Nunu is a light monster, and it will send a dark reptile from deck to grave. Nauya, on the other hand, is a dark reptile, and it will send a light reptile from deck to grave. So the light reptile we're going to pick off of Nauya is going to be Keurse, the Ogdoadic Light. If this card is in your graveyard, you can tribute one monster, special summon this card, and then your opponent can special summon one monster from their graveyard but negate its effects. That kind of necessitates that you make a turn 1 board with this playstyle. Going second is possible, but to generate the least amount of advantage for your opponent, you'll want to go first. The next effect is going to become relevant once I tribute King of the Feral Imps to special summon Keurse from the grave. Its second effect reads, if this card is special summoned, you can target one level 4 or lower Ogdoadic monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and banish it when it leaves the field. So, we're going to pick Nauya, the Ogdoadic Remnant. And now, Nauya's second effect kicks in. When it's normal or special summoned, you can add one Ogdoadic spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. The card you're going to want to add, always, with no exceptions, is Ogdoadic Water Lily. This is a fantastic piece of reptile support. It reads, send one reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then, if you have 5 or more reptiles with different names in your graveyard, you can special summon one reptile monster from your graveyard. So this is basically Foolish Burial, Monster Reborn, fused in one. And if you've got the requisite number of reptiles already in your grave, there is nothing stopping you from reviving the monster that you just sent from your deck to the graveyard. So if you've got the right setup, this is effectively an e-tele and emergency teleport for anybody that might not know. And I'll be showing that particular aspect of it right now. So we're going to link these two off into either one of these will work. Doesn't really matter at this juncture. Either Alien Shock Trooper M-Frame or Reptilian Echidna. Both of these are reptile monsters that came out in Dual Overload. Either one of them is fine for the rest of the combo. So I'm going to pick Alien Shock Trooper M-Frame. So Keurse will hit the graveyard, but due to its effect, Nauya will be banished. And now, because you have Nunu, Zohah, King of the Feral Imps, and Keurse as 4 names, whatever you send to the graveyard off of Water Lily will be your 5th name, which enables it to special summon any of your reptiles from your graveyard. So we're going to play Water Lily, and we are going to send the other piece of alien support that came out in Dawn of Majesty, Alien Stealthbuster. Its effect reads, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one face-up monster on the field, place 2 A counters on it. So it won't get a chance to activate that effect right now, because now that we've sent it to the graveyard, we have the 5 names. We're going to bring Stealthbuster back from the graveyard. And so now we're going to link off our Link 2 and Stealthbuster, and we're going to bring out Cosmic Slicer Zer'oll. Now 2 things are going to happen. Stealthbuster is now going to get the opportunity to place 2 A counters on a face-up monster, and you'll want to put it on Zer'oll. It's the only monster, so it's really your only option. But Zer'oll is actually going to use those A counters. So the search effect on Zer'oll's Link Summon is going to trigger, and you're going to want to bring out Alien Kid. But if you've already used your normal summon for Zohah, how are you going to get Kid onto the field? Well, Zer'oll has another effect, which reads, you can remove 2 A counters from anywhere on the field. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 reptile. So you'll get rid of the 2 A counters, and you'll normal summon Alien Kid. And now you have a full lockdown for any monster your opponent special summons. Let's go on to combo 2. The next combo is going to happen when you have 2 Ogdoadic starters. So the first one was Nunu with any discard. Now this works with Nunu and Nauya specifically. So you'll want to send Nauya from your hand to the graveyard in order to activate its effect, and Nauya is going to send Keurse, the Ogdoadic Light, just like before. Now you're going to activate Nunu's effect in hand, send it to the graveyard, in order to send another Ogdoadic monster, Aleirtt, the Ogdoadic Dark. So because you control no monsters, you're now going to use the effect of Nunu to special summon itself from the grave. You'll tribute it in order to bring out Keurse. Nunu is banished, and now you'll use Keurse's effect to special summon Nauya. Nauya will add Water Lily, and now you'll want to tribute Nauya. Nauya also gets banished, and now you'll want to special summon Aleirtt. Alert's effect reads, if this card is in your graveyard, you can tribute 1 monster, special summon it from the grave, which we just did. So Nauya was our tribute. Then your opponent can add 1 monster from their graveyard to their hand. That's not really going to be super relevant on turn 1, like I said, because if you're on turn 1, they shouldn't really have anything in grave. The second effect reads, if this card is special summoned, you can target 2 of your banished monsters, including a reptile monster, and return them to the graveyard. So because you banished Nunu to tribute for Keurse and Nauya to tribute for Aleirtt, these are now 2 banished monsters, or 2 banished cards with 1 reptile, at least. So Aleirtt will return these to the graveyard. And now with Keurse and Aleirtt, you'll want to link to, like I said, doesn't matter, but I'm going to use M-frame again. And if you notice now, we have our 2 Ogdoadics that were returned from being banished to the graveyard, and Keurse and Aleirtt. So now we've got 4 names engraved, which means we can now have Water Lily send any monster from deck to grave, and again it is going to be Alien Stealthbuster. And now we've got the 5 names engraved. So now we're going to special summon Alien Stealthbuster. And just like before, we'll link these 2 off. We'll summon Zer'oll. Zer'oll will get 2 A counters on it. It will search. We will grab Alien Kid and use the A counter effect of Zer'oll to normal summon it. And there you go. So that's combo 2. Let's move on to combo 3. So now I'm going to showcase the power of a card that is uniquely advantageous for reptiles. Snake Rain. Discard 1 card, send 4 reptile monsters from your deck to the graveyard. Since most of your Ogdoadics are going to have useful graveyard effects, this is amazing if you get it to resolve. If you can get this to resolve and your opponent has no interruptions, you basically have full combo. So I will show that right now. I'll have Alien Shock Trooper as my discard. So, play Snake Rain, discard 1 card, and the 4 reptiles that you're going to send from deck to grave, you'll want them to be Nunu, Nauya, Keurse, and Aleirtt. And if you notice, these are the same monsters outside of your discard that you used in the last combo. So if you can get Snake Rain, you send off these 4 guys, and then you can go full combo into Zer'oll and Kid. So Snake Rain is really good because, like I said, you resolve this, you get full combo because you send 4 names to the grave that you need to bring out Zer'oll and Kid. But if you can get a free body on board, you can actually beef up your combo a little bit. So what happens if your discard provides the free body? So for this purpose, I'm going to show you what happens when you have Perform Mage Trick Clown as your discard off of Snake Rain. Perform Mage Trick Clown reads, if this card is sent to the graveyard, target a Perform Mage monster in your graveyard, special summon it, its attack and defense becomes 0, then you take 1,000 damage. This, in its targeting of a Perform Mage monster, does not exclude itself. So, we're going to be taking advantage of that interaction. Play Snake Rain, discard Perform Mage Trick Clown, and the 4 cards that you're going to want to send are Nunu, Nauya, Keurse, and any alien monster that is level 4 or lower. We're going to pick Shock Trooper for this example. It can just as easily be Stealthbuster. Or Kid if you're in a pinch, but you really won't want to put Kid in the graveyard. You'll want to have it in hand, or you'll want to send it to the graveyard only to be immediately revived with Water Lily. So, Snake Rain discarded your Perform Mage Trick Clown to put all 4 of these monsters in the grave. Perform Mage Trick Clown now gets to activate because it was sent to the graveyard, so you'll special summon it, attack and defense becomes 0, you take 1,000 damage, so if you're setting this up on turn 1, then you'll be at 7,000 life points. Now you've got a free body on board to tribute for Keurse's effect. You'll do just that. And Keurse's effect brings back Nauya. Nauya adds Water Lily. And now because you control an Ogdoadic, you will special summon Nunu. You'll overlay Nauya and Nunu into King of the Feral Imps. And now you'll detach one in order to add Alien Ammonite to hand. And Alien Ammonite reads, when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 4 or lower alien monster from your graveyard, which is why I suggested that that's what you want to do for your 4th monster that you send off of Snake Rain. So if you've noticed, we special summoned Perform Mage Trick Clown, special summoned Keurse, special summoned the Nauya that is now Xyz material for King of the Feral Imps, and we special summoned Nunu. We have not used our normal summon yet, which is why you'll want to use your normal summon now with Ammonite in order to bring back Alien Shock Trooper. And now what you'll want to do is you'll want to link off Keurse, King, and your level 4 alien that you revived off of Ammonite. These specifically. And you'll want to bring out Zer'oll. Now with Zer'oll, instead of adding Kid, because you have an alien monster already on the field, you can now search Planet Pollutant Virus and set it face down. So now you have an alien card to tribute for Planet Pollutant Virus on your opponent's turn to clear their field, and now they'll have A counters on every monster they'll summon for the next 3 turns. So this is now your end board if you can get Snake Rain and something like a Trick Clown, where it's a free body that specials itself off of your discard. Light Serpent and Dangerous Tsuchinoko also work for this combo, and those can be more advantageous to have in your deck purely because Light Serpent and Dangerous Tsuchinoko are also both reptiles. And if you notice, we did not use our Water Lily either. So if we ever want to beef up our end board with something else, say for example Ogdo Abyss, the Ogdoadic Overlord, which is a quick effect, wipe everything that has not been special summoned from the graveyard, you can use Water Lily, and obviously you'll have more than enough names in graveyard to facilitate this by this point. You can just send it to the grave and then immediately special summon it because you'll have the names. So this is actually a really powerful combo. It's surprising what just one extender with Snake Rain will give you. So now let's move on to the next combo. So now that we've shown a little bit of what Trick Clown can do when it comes to helping facilitate combos, let's reintroduce Trick Clown with some of our Ogdoadic starter cards. So first I'm going to show you what you can do with Trick Clown and Nauya. So first you'll want to normal summon Trick Clown, and then you'll want to use Nauya's effect to send a light reptile from deck to grave. The card you're going to want to pick, like pretty much every other time I've shown him, you'll want to send Keurse. Now, Keurse's effect in grave, you'll want to tribute your Trick Clown that you normal summoned. Keurse will bring back Nauya, and Trick Clown will bring itself back because now it's been sent to the graveyard. So you'll take 1,000 damage, this thing will get dropped to 0 attack and defense, yada yada. And Nauya will add Water Lily from your deck to your hand. So now what you'll want to do is one of two things, actually. So this combo is modular from here on out. it leads to the same kind of end board of Zer'oll and Kid, or Zer'oll plus an alien plus Planet Pollutant Virus. So I'll show you both routes. So the first one is going to be just Zer'oll plus Kid. What you'll want to do from here is you'll want to use Water Lily to send Nunu from deck to grave. And because you control Ogdoadics, you can now special summon Nunu from the graveyard. So what you'll want to do is you'll overlay Nunu and Nauya into King of the Feral Imps. You'll detach one, and you'll want to search for Alien Kid here. What you'll want to do from here is link off Trick Clown and any of your reptile in order to bring out Reptilian Echidna. And the reason you can do this is because Reptilian Echidna's link conditions are 2 monsters including a reptile. So that's why even though Trick Clown is a spellcaster, you can use it for link material as long as you used either Keurse or King as your other link material for Echidna. So now, you have Echidna on field, and Keurse the Ogdoadic Light. Both of these are reptiles. Now you can get to Zer'oll. And this is going to be a little bit different of a route to get Kid on field, because if you noticed, in earlier combos, we used Stealthbuster in graveyard to get the A counters on Zer'oll for the normal summon. We don't have Stealthbuster, and we've already used our Water Lily. So the card we're going to be adding off of Zer'oll is actually how we get to the A counters for the second normal summon. And that is because Zer'oll can also search this card. A-Cell Recombination Device. Hold on, I think this card is stuck. There we go. A-Cell Recombination Device. This card reads, target one face-up monster on the field, send one alien monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, place A counters on that monster equal to the level of the sent monster. That is actually really powerful, because even if you just have Zer'oll on field and you get it to search, A-Cell Recombination Device is your only search, and nothing else on field is actually not that bad. Because if you play A-Cell Recombination Device, as I'm about to do, you can send Alien Stealthbuster. And because Stealthbuster has a separate effect to place A counters, when it hits the graveyard, you effectively get to place 4 A counters on one monster your opponent controls and lock that out with Zer'oll. And with Stealthbuster, you can place 2 A counters on a separate monster. So A-Cell Recombination Device can be effectively a double lockdown for 2 of your a double lockdown, meaning that you lock down 2 of your opponent's monsters. In this case, we're not going to be needing that many because we're just going to use A-Cell Recombination Device to put A counters on Zer'oll. So send any at least level 2 or above alien monster so that you can place the A counters on him. And now you can remove 2 and normal summon Kid. So that's how Nauya and Trick Clown get you to Alien Kid and Zer'oll if you're in a pinch. If you're not in a pinch, this is how you'll want to use them both to bring out the full board, including the trap card. So, just like before, you'll want to normal the clown, send Nauya, send Keurse, tribute the clown, bring back the Keurse, bring back Nauya, bring back clown, add the Water Lily, But from here, you're going to want to make things a little bit different. You're going to want to Xyz summon King of the Feral Imps at this point, as opposed to later. So what you'll want to do now is you'll detach King of the Feral Imps, or you'll detach one material from King of the Feral Imps in order to add Nunu from deck to hand. And Nunu, you'll want to use its effect in hand to send Aleirtt. From your deck to your graveyard. So now, because you control an Ogdoadic with Keurse, you can special summon Nunu from your graveyard. So now, you've got the requisite materials, you can bring out a Link 2. So let's use King and Nunu, and because Nunu was brought back from the graveyard with its own effect, it's banished. You can bring out any Link 2. So we'll pick out M-Frame again. And now we're going to bring Keurse and M-Frame. We'll use them for link material for Zer'oll. In Zer'oll, you're going to want to search Planet Pollutant Virus. And if you've been paying attention, we now have Aleirtt, Nauya, King of the Feral Imps, and Keurse. So now we have 4 different names, and with M-Frame, we have 5 different names. So this now gives you a little bit of flexibility in what you want to do. So now, you're going to use your Water Lily that you haven't used yet off that the Nauya search. You'll want to play it, and you'll send any reptile from deck to grave. If your Link 2 was not M-Frame, you'll want this to be an alien though, because you'll want to use Water Lily's second effect to revive any reptile from your grave, and you want it to be an alien for your trap card to be live. So, let's say this is not M-Frame. Let's say it's Echidna. Then you'll need this card that you send off of Water Lily to be any alien monster from your grave, or from your deck. So I am going to pick Alien Stealthbuster. So, like I said, you've got the names. So when you send Stealthbuster to the grave, you bring it out. And now you have it. You have your full board. So Nunu plus Trick Clown is incredibly flexible. And similarly, Nauya plus Trick Clown is actually... Oh, wait, sorry. That was Nauya plus Trick Clown. Nunu plus Trick Clown is actually going to be just as flexible. So let's show off what happens with Nunu and Trick Clown. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to activate Nunu's effect in hand, and you'll want to send Aleirtt from your deck to your graveyard. Now what you'll want to do, just like before, is you'll want to normal summon Trick Clown. Oh, right. Sorry. You'll want to normal summon Trick Clown, but before you do that, now that Nunu is in your graveyard and you control no monsters, you'll want to special summon Nunu from the grave. Now, you'll normal summon Trick Clown. The reason that you want to do this is because once Nunu's on the field, you can't special summon non-reptiles, and because Trick Clown's a spellcaster, that does muddy up a few things. And obviously, you need to have no monsters to bring Nunu out. So, activate Nunu's effect in hand, then revive it. Then normal summon your clown. You'll want to overlay them into King of the Feral Imps. You'll detach either at this point, but if you end up detaching Clown, just remember to bring it back onto the field with its effect. So I'm going to send Nunu for now, and I'll revive Clown later, but you could just as easily detach Clown at this juncture and then revive it. But make sure you do that. So with King of the Feral Imps, we're detaching one, and we're going to add Nauya from deck to hand. You'll want to use Nauya in hand to send Keurse from deck to grave. Keurse effect to tribute King of the Feral Imps. And like I said before, if you didn't do it then, you'll have to do it now, where Trick Clown gets revived once it hits the grave. So Keurse effect will bring Nauya back out, and Clown's own effect will bring itself. So now Nauya will add Ogdoadic Water Lily. And from here, you can now go into a second copy of King of the Feral Imps. What you'll want to do now is detach, and off of King, you'll want to add Aleirtt Kid. So now you'll link these two off, and you'll bring out any of your reptile link 2s. And now you should have the requisite number in grave. So you've got Aleirtt, Nunu, 2 copies of King, but Water Lily only works with different names, so you really just need 1 to still be in the grave. So you've got 5 different names already. So now your Water Lily can go live, you'll use it, and you'll bring out Alien Stealthbuster. Alien Stealthbuster and your link 2, link them off. Bring out Zer'oll. Alien Stealthbuster effect in your grave. Places 2 A counters. Now, Zer'oll removes those. Normal summons Aleirtt Kid. So that's how Nunu and Trick Clown can get you to the Kid combo. But let me show you now how you can use it to get to the full Zer'oll plus Alien plus Virus. So we're going to be sending a different monster to the graveyard off of Nunu, but that is still going to be your first play. You'll send Nunu from your hand to the graveyard. And what's new now is that you'll want to send Zohah, the Ogdoadic Boundless. You'll use Zohah's effect, as you did in the very first combo that I showed you, to send your Trick Clown in hand to add Zohah back from the grave. Trick Clown's effect, once it hits the grave, you'll want to use it, bring it back from the graveyard. Normal summon your Zohah, and now because you control an Ogdoadic, you can special summon Nunu from your graveyard. So now, you've got plenty of Xyz material, and now we're going to work with it. So, we're going to overlay any of your monsters, it doesn't really matter. We'll overlay Trick Clown and Nunu into King of the Feral Imps. So now, what we'll want to do is we'll want to detach, and we'll add Nauya. We'll send Nauya in hand in order to send Keurse from deck to grave. And now we'll tribute either of our reptiles on field in order to bring out Keurse. And then Keurse will bring back Nauya. Nauya effect to get us Water Lily to our hand. And now we can just kind of go full combo. Nauya will be banished as a result. We'll go straight into Zer'oll from here. And now you'll have 4 names. You'll have a 5th if you decided to go into a Link 2 before going into Zer'oll. But this should be already this should already be enough names. You have Nunu, Zohah, Keurse, and King. So now Zer'oll will add you Planet Pollutant Virus. So now you'll have Planet Pollutant Virus to set face down, and you'll have some Water Lily still in hand. You'll want to use that. You'll send an alien monster. So, alien Stealthbuster. And now, because you've got the names in the grave, you've got 5 names. You can bring back your alien monster that you just sent to the graveyard off of Water Lily. And there you have it. Now you have Zer'oll, your alien, and your trap card. Pretty good. So there's only one more combo that I have to share with you, and it's how far you can go if you can get an Xyz monster without a normal summon. And it's mostly just to get your cognitive abilities, firing a little bit on a couple more cylinders. It's a very niche thing I'm about to show you, but it's very powerful. So I'm going to show you what you can do with these 2 cards. So Foolish Burial and Unexpected Die. So this is a 1-of card, which is why I didn't show it earlier, but obviously Foolish Burial is a really good card to have with this deck because Ogdoadics thrive in the graveyard. So being able to send any of them to the graveyard at a moment's notice is really, really good. Unexpected Die will be good for other reasons that I will show you. So you'll want to play Unexpected Die first in order to special summon Alien Shock Trooper. What you'll want to do next is use Foolish Burial to send a Trick Clown. And because you sent it to the graveyard, and it doesn't really care about where it came from to reach the graveyard, you can now revive Trick Clown with its own effect. So, now, you've got Xyz material, overlay them into King of the Feral Imps. Now what you'll want to do is you'll want to detach and add from deck to hand Nauya. And now effective Nauya, send it from your hand to send Keurse from deck to grave. You'll want to tribute your king on field so that you can send Nauya to the field as well. Nauya's effect, add Water Lily, and now you'll want to play Water Lily. So now you'll send Nunu from deck to grave, and because you control Ogdoadics, you can now special summon Nunu from your grave. So from here, you'll want to overlay into a second copy of King of the Feral Imps. Now again, if you've been paying attention, you've been able to bring this out with no normal summon, and you might have been wondering, why would you want to play Alien Shock Trooper, which is an alien card, and is fairly strong as a 1900 attack body for a level 4 monster, but it's not an effect monster. It doesn't have an effect that would immediately give you any advantage. Here is why. Now you control an alien engrave. You can revive it off of a normal summon of Alien Ammonite, and because you haven't normal summoned yet, that is what you're going to search for with King of the Feral Imps. So you'll detach, add Alien Ammonite to hand, and now you'll normal summon Alien Ammonite, bring back Alien Shock Trooper, and now you'll want to link it off to get Zer'oll on the field. And now Zer'oll will search you Planet Pollutant Virus, and now you have your full combo. Ta-da! So there's a lot of different ways to get to this end board, and I've shown them to you with purely 2-card combos. Obviously, if you have extenders, there's way more possibilities for you to get to this board. It's deceptively simple and extremely powerful. Obviously, you'll want to have some amount of protection if you can for Zer'oll, because a single thing like an infinite impermanence, or say for example a Soul Taker even, will kind of throw a monkey wrench into this. Your opponent will probably try to bait out your trap card as early as possible to prevent it from disrupting them too much. So for example, if your opponent has Trickstar Light Stage, and that's the first card that they play to attempt to lock down your trap card, then in order to make sure that the Zer'oll's effect goes live, you'll have to immediately shotgun the virus, tribute your monster on field in order to have the A counter lockdown. So this deck isn't exactly perfect, and it's certainly not super resilient, but it does work extremely well against monster effect heavy decks and playstyles, which is why I think this deck is really fun to play. And you know, it's a pretty solid plan to go into it. Like I said, I've shown you how to get to it with mostly 2-card combos, so it's very minimal investment, but it's very, very strong. Planet Pollutant Virus is actually a kind of cracked card in the fact that it destroys everything, and then, you know, your opponent just can't do anything for 3 turns. It's basically true King of all calamities for 3 turns. So yeah, that's how you get to Zer'oll plus your full lockdown off of a couple of 2-card combos. I hope that this is really helpful to anybody who wants to learn how to play Ogdoadic aliens. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you will have a lot of fun too. Leave me any questions in the comments if you have any, or if you have any comments about what you think can help this playstyle, if anything. Yeah. So, thank you for watching.